All right. Let me get this tweet up. Okay. That's done. Let me see if this works so I can make sure to see your guys's. Oh, it's working. Would you look at that? Okay. Get the microphone over here. I was ill prepared, as you can tell. I was outside playing. I had 45 minutes off between the end of that police chase and this stream, and I had to get the League Pass menu out. Let me make sure. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me just make sure my mic is edit mic settings. Okay, it's good. What's happening, people? Crazy police chase. Now I'm in my post tennis. I'm all sweaty, so you're going to have to forgive me. I'm pulling out the Lakers robe today for this stream as we get prepared for what is an 11-game slate in the association today. All sorts of news piling in here. If you see me looking to the side of my screen, it's because I have all the injury updates. So Zion's going to be out. Zion's out. Risa Shea, Jalen Johnson, and Porzingis is back in. What the hell's wrong with him? He's still sick. Not great. What's up, Jake Plum? Yes, very casual today. Once again, the reason for the outfit. I was half naked until I put this on. I was just going to go with a towel because I'm sweating so much. I'm practically drenched through. I don't want to soak the chair. So I was just going to go towel, but there was too much of this showing. So I decided to grab the Lakers robe. They do a fine job, by the way, the Lakers. This is a season ticket holder gift. So I have a sauna robe. I have a nice bag, like a travel bag that we got one year. And then I have a beach table, like a foldable beach table that's got Lakers branding on it and stuff like that. So some pretty nice, decent gifts. You get to select from 3 different options as a Lakers season ticket holder every year. Matt wants me to recognize the Heat's offense. What? Because they won a game? Beat the New York Knicks. Congratulations. For one night, they scored enough points to win the game. But no. Other than that, Zion would have gotten 20-plus rebounds tonight with ease. What is that? What is that load management all about? So tonight, shout out to Profit X, by the way, our sponsors for this stream. So right as we were going live, I was booking some props and spreads on this. Like Zion was listed as questionable today. What's the spread on this game? Celtics favored by 2. The Pelicans have been at home. The Pelicans have been at home since they played the Spurs on Friday. This wasn't even an example of a road back-to-back, which is understandable when you keep some of your stars out, especially Zion. They've been at home, and they haven't played in a couple of days, unless I missed something. That's kind of crazy. It's too early in the season to be doing that. I thought with the regime change, with Joe Dumars coming in there, we might get more PT, but maybe they see the Boston Celtics as an opportunity to load manage a little bit, especially with Jaylen Brown questionable. But it's happening already. Anthony Edwards out, hurt. Luka out, hurt. The Grizzlies have been banged up. Katie Marlowe in the chat says, Wob, I'm about to head down to Staples right now. Can I expect another AR-50 piece, or is the Blazer defense for real? The Blazer defense, including Drew Holiday and Toumani Camara, is stout in that backcourt. You better believe Austin Reeves is going to be getting a lot of attention. Now, I'd like to expand on this for a little bit. So who's favored tonight? Oh, Portland's favored by 3. Jackson Hayes out. Marcus Smart out. Someone else is out too. Chat would know. It's going to be Austin. Rui's in, I think. God, there's so many Lakers out tonight. It makes sense that Portland's favored because they're going to be sending everybody they can at Austin Reeves. Now, What's up, Helwer? Celtics are on a road back-to-back. They shouldn't be favored. Well, you know what? When Zion Williamson decides to just not play, and you got the Pelicans, I agree with you, though. Herb Jones, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy III should be favored at home against that Celtics team, which is on the verge of a fire sale in the foreseeable future. Hopefully you guys can't hear this fan because I'm sweating like a beast, but I need it. It's necessary. Yeah, so tonight, Lakers dogs at home, but they got a much-needed win in Sacramento last night. I don't know how many of you listened to the show today. What's for Austin Reeves' over-under, by the way? Last night, I got this thing I got Austin Reeves' over-under before right as the Luka news dropped. I got it at 20.5, and he ended up scoring 51. Tonight, that number goes all the way up here on ProfitX to 28.5. I'm gonna have to go under on that one, honestly. 10 bucks. Let me just give me a little action on this. He's gonna see a whole bunch of Drew and Tumani, and this could be a potential blowout too, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back. Okay, $10 on Austin Reeves stud. So unfortunately for whoever in the chat is headed to Staples Center tonight. Also, there's a Dodger game, just a little World Series game going on tonight, people, here in Los Angeles. So you're gonna have temporary flight restrictions. You are going to have the 110's going to be gridlock, Carmageddon, for as far as the eye can see, with the Lakers and Dodger game ending near each other. Tonight is also the debut of NBA on NBC on Peacock. Tomorrow is the 11 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Ooh, I can't wait for that one. Worldwide Robe. That's me. Okay, what else? If anybody listened to the show earlier today, we did play some of the interview that we had with Austin Reeves when Antonio and I went to El Segundo during training camp. And boy, did his answer hit a little bit harder. Look at that. The Indiana Pacers just signed Mac McClung to a multi-year deal. Congrats to Mac McClung getting an opportunity to do something other than just dunk. Where was I? Oh, so we sat down with Austin Reeves, and Antonio and I, we usually don't plan in advance what we're going to talk about or ask during interviews because we find a natural conversation to be much more attractive as a piece of content. But it's because we have good chemistry and we're on the same wavelength. So with Austin, the two of us have always talked about this game against the Denver Nuggets last year, where Austin Reeves went completely bonkers without Luka Doncic or LeBron James on the floor. So after last night, 51, 11, and 9, last year he had a 37, 8, and 13 game, and also 45, 7, and 7. One of those was in a loss to Denver that they almost pulled off in a massive double-digit dog upset. And it was that game against the Denver Nuggets, which I think was we always knew Austin Reeves, a good player. He's got the confidence of LeBron James, who deferred to him at the end of a Memphis Grizzlies playoff game, said, you got to go ahead. That's never been the problem. It's just been his usage percentage running alongside two stars that obviously are going to have the ball in their hands more than anybody else. But now Austin Reeves gets the opportunity to go out there and just cook. And boy, can he fill it up. So we ask him, hey, Austin, what would you say was your best game last year? He started off with a win because he was being, a good NBA player. And I'm like, okay, how about losses included? And his answer was obviously the Denver game. And he gave an answer in which he was very complimentary of Luka and LeBron and how he prefers to be out there when they're on the floor too, because they're such good passers and he's able to download their movement and he plays off of them. I'm like, man, to be standing in the corner as a catch and shoot guy in a third wheel option, seeing what you're capable of, he didn't sound like an individual that is desperate for these I get to cook nights. He's completely content being one of the three, even though he very clearly has the talent to be the guy. I know it's just the Sacramento Kings, but every chance that Austin Reeves is out there thus far in a very small sample size, he has delivered, filling up the box score, especially with offensive creativity and production. We're going to see that again tonight, and we're going to see that again for the next week or so. He's also owed a raise, an extension in the foreseeable future. And I believe he is eligible for one of those full 25% raises. That's a lot of money. And if you're going to be paying Austin Reaves that amount, you sure hope he's involved a little bit more than when Luka and LeBron are out there concurrently. But we can all see the light that it feels like LeBron's going to be moving on to do something different next year. If that's the case, then Austin Reaves is going to step in there as the number 2 carrying the load offensively. Boy, is he something special. He got to the free throw line, 22 times? DeMar DeRozan was pretty pissed off about that. You can blame Devin Carter last night for running up there during a rebound and just shoving him in the back on back-to-back possessions when the Lakers were in the bonus. It was a foul. Like, just stop fouling him and making it so obvious. Put the pressure on the referees to actually make a 50-50 decision if they want to put Austin Reaves at the free throw line or not. They made it easy on him, the same way they made it easy on Shea in the first 2 games. Knicks added, let's see, so I'm going to read some chats now. Knicks also added 2 quality money talent free agents to the bench this year, still very high minutes for the starters. Well, they had, in 3 games this year, official news, Jaylen Brown is questionable, but also a game time decision. Okay, it's going to be a true game time decision here in the near future. The Knicks in these 3 games have had 5 players off the bench go double digits if you say Kolek got to 10 minutes yesterday. And it's also clear, like, they're mixing and matching lineups so much. Mikal Bridges is moving freely without the basketball. The roster versatility is such an essential currency in today's game. And what I mean by roster versatility is having guys that can wear multiple hats, play different positions, do different things. The Indiana Pacers have proven it's more than just the quantity of guys that you can put into a single game. All of them can replace each other. That was not the case previously, but sure seems to be now. Pablo SS in the chat saying he's a Sixers fan. What's the tough conversation that needs to be had? Well, take a guess. You got Edgecombe. Well, it starts with, first of all, Paul George. When he returns, what are we doing with the starting lineup? Are they playing tonight? I think they are playing tonight. Let me see real quick. Take a look at the board. Philly, or oh God, they get the Magic. All right. So no Joel Embiid. The tough conversation was in regards to what to do with Joel. Okay, because Joel is in and out right now in a minutes restriction. They're trying to build up his stamina and his ability to get back to MVP form. I understand that. It's early in the season. That's fine. But the Sixers are proving once again that they can draft the hell out of some guys. So between Maxey, Edgecombe, are we just running those 2 plus Paul George, Joel Embiid, and then McCain, Kelly Oubre? They got some guys there that have been a part of this rotation while all those big names have been out. I'm not opposed to selling high on a certain someone, is the tough conversation I was alluding to. Tonight, Sixers 6.5-point dogs to the Magic at home. Andre Drummond, I assume, in the starting lineup. Let's see. Maxey, 28.5. Jesus. Paolo Banchero, 24.5. Desmond Bane, 18.5. Who else is going to be a Dembona? I love a Dembona, by the way. He plays so much bigger than his frame and his size. Are we allowed to look at player props? Have we gotten through the weekend? There was one. Hold on. Let me come back to the full screen real quick. If there was one blessing in disguise that the NBA had last week, it was that the scandal with Chauncey, Damon, and Terry Rozier dropped at the end of the week. Because that means you have the World Series going that night, college football in the NFL that was going to distract people from discussing NBA in your weekday talk shows, that it may just die into the abyss. And while the story's not going to die, I think the conversation and discourse has certainly calmed down a little bit. So if that happened on a Monday, that would have been a problem. But it didn't. And honestly, it feels like back to business around here. And there's something to be said about They were like, you had a white, there was no gray. It was just a white take, black take. And I'm not talking about skin color. I'm just using the analogy. The one side is like all forms of gambling are bad. You heard Kenny Smith talk about gambling is an addiction. And then Charles Barkley was like, you're an idiot. Please stop talking. And you have to understand gambling being regulated by legal businesses enable them to catch these bad actors. If you get rid of legal gambling and everyone goes back to operating in the shadows, this will get a lot worse because there's not as much regulatory terms and conditions and agreements. At least you have watchdogs now. I'm not going to sit here and tell people to gamble that are not comfortable with it, but to think that it all just goes away and people weren't gambling before legal sports wagering in the United States, you're crazy. That's my stance, is the watchdog system was doing its job. And I don't want a couple of bad actors to ruin it for everyone else. Is that fair? Okay. Any other questions from the chat? This is meant to be a live Q&A, by the way, and you click to say something at the bottom of the screen. Everyone always complains I don't do live streams anymore. And when I do a live stream, you go quiet on me. They complain into the Twitter machine. Live streams. But isn't this what you wanted? Here we are. Or you can just sit here and listen to my stories. You can do that too if you're not going to ask questions. I can just scroll and get in some more bets here. How about that? Until you guys come up with something. Appreciated. Real Pab Eats. Yeah, we're chilling today. Got a good tennis session in, got a good police chase in. I said LeBron was going to do something different. What am I hinting at? Oh, well, I mean, just the realistic possibility that he's not with the Los Angeles Lakers next season. I don't know what he's doing, but it seems like that is certainly in play and probably the favorite. The way the business is being handled with the Lakers. Clutch is out. WME is in. They're building around Luka. They're going to clear their books next year. He can always come back. I just don't think he's going to be getting his max contract anymore, especially from the Lakers who need to pay Austin Reeves and they want to assemble around a little bit younger core. So I treat the live stream as sports ASMR. Fair. I can also just talk. I got to do live radio shows solo at night sometimes and just talking to myself, coming up, asking myself questions and answering is part of the job. So I can do that. I want this to be more of an interactive space for you guys to get the opportunity to ask your questions. Blazers ceiling, playoff appearance. Toumani Kamara's nice piece. Shaden Sharp will continue to develop. Can we get some more Hansen Yang, please? Please? The people demand more Hansen Yang. Yang Hansen. Wait, it's Yang Hansen, right? Because it says Yang on the back of his jersey, and Chinese puts the first name. Chinese people put the first name on, so I think it's Yang Hansen. Yang Hansen. Okay, sorry. I should have known that because it was Yao Ming and he had Yao on the back. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, it's nice that Donovan Clingan thinks he can shoot threes now, but honestly, what are we doing? Why did you draft him? Is the Edgecombe start for real? I didn't see this guy. I didn't see him taking off like this athletically. Yeah, I mean, he has bounce and the ability to finish. What was the big, someone that follows college, did he have difficulty shooting the basketball from the outside? I remember there being just one little critique of his game back then. That dude flies, man. He makes Maxey look slow, and I thought Maxey would be the fastest on the ball player in the league for a while. They got the two of them in the same backcourt. It's giving off House of Guards vibes with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Are the Celtics tanking? They will be at some point, yeah. I think they're going to have a garage sale. It's going to start with Derek White. They'll get a king's ransom for Derek White. Yeah, they stink. Dylan Harper thoughts from Hellwick. Oh, okay. This is the biggest compliment I can give Dylan Harper, other than the obvious that he moves like a veteran. Like his decision making, it feels like a veteran, right? The way he sets guys up, the way he manages the game. And this De'Aaron Fox being out of the lineup has allowed Dylan and Steph Castle to develop this backcourt chemistry around Wemby. It's like, take your time, De'Aaron. He's still coming back and he's going to start. I mean, they paid him all that money for a reason. But it's nice to have so many options that it's almost a problem. Good problems to have. But the compliment I want to give Dylan is that he posterizes people with layups. He does layup posters, the up and unders, the spin moves, in the his layup finishing ability is like, wow. Athletic as hell too. They're not dunks, but they're layups. It's tough to poster someone with a layup. And can I do an old man rant for a second? How the term poster has been so diluted by NBA Twitter that they think Zion's dunk on Wemby is a poster. That is a disgrace. Any dunk, people are like, posterize. That is not even close to a poster. There needs to be body-to-body contact. Anthony Edwards dunking on Yuta Watanabe. That is a poster. DeAndre Jordan dunking on Brandon Knight. That is a poster. You'll know it when you see it, not just like a little Cooper Flagg's dunk last night with someone in the vicinity is not a poster dunk. He didn't get posterized. Diluted the word so bad it carries no more value that you can't say posterized anymore because everyone's like, oh, someone gets posterized every night. Thank you for listening. But yes, Dylan Harper posterizing everyone with his layup finishing ability. Who's leading that San Antonio Spurs starting rotation, by the way, when De'Aaron Fox comes back? Are they going to go Steph, Dylan, Vassell, De'Aaron, and Wemby? 4 guards and Wemby? You probably could with that Godzilla down there. Eric Stottle says sports gambling ads should be regulated to the level cigarette ads have been. Fair. You're entitled to your opinion. Jason asks, do you feel would be the best case scenario for the Celtics this season? Tank. Don't bring back Jason Tatum. What? I don't want to see another video of him in the gym. Let him heal. No need to rush back. You're rushing back for what? I understand the East is horrendous this year. Man, that is not worth it. Take your time coming back. Get the summer to return to superstardom form, and people will hopefully forget about that injury. Come on. No one comes back from Achilles that quickly. And if they do, they are shadows of their old selves, and you're opening yourself up to re-injury. I'm not even a doctor, and I still don't support that. Caught says, I think, LeBron, last year of LeBron, I agree with you. Rookie of the Year, VJ Edgecombe. Let's see. I think it's going to be between, is Harper going to continue to get enough PT to keep up with Flagg and Edgecombe? I was hoping Young Hansen would be a sneaky dark horse, but he's not getting enough PT. It's going to be between those 3, right? It's going to be between the top 3 picks. Anyone else I'm missing that stood out, at least from a playtime standpoint? J-Dubs in the chat says, yes, when he was at Baylor, he wasn't the greatest shooter, but he's been unreal. Well, you know what helps? You know what helps? When you can get to the rim at will and everyone starts backpedaling, then you can just step into wide open shots. He's good. Very good. Ooh, Derek Lively, the second, ruled out tonight for Dallas. Okay, hold on. Let us get to let's see. Daniel Gafford out for Dallas, just ruled. Let's see if we can sneak in a player prop here with that news. See, this is the legal way of doing it, by the way. Brandon Williams out. Wait for the official injury reports to drop and you react to them. This isn't so difficult. Okay, so Derek Lively out. What does that mean for us? AJ Mitchell, by the way, is going to win Sixth Man of the Year at this rate. Also nice to see D'Angelo Russell get that PT last night because they need a ball handler that is not Cooper Flagg. Who's going to take those minutes? PJ's already, there's nobody on this list here that I can bang their over-under and take advantage of that news. Najee? Is it Najee who's going to get those minutes? Over-under at 9.5? Who? It's Davis? Does that mean Najee's going to get a bump? I think that means Najee's going to get a bump. I'm putting $10 on it. I'll put $10 on it. Najee Marshall. Why is it not verification? Locate. Verify my location, please. Why is it doing this? Profit X, why is it doing this? It just let me bet before. Somebody. Are you doing this because I got a good line? Okay, it's not verifying my location. Let's try again. Anyway, keep going, chat. Let's see. Helwick says, going into the season, I thought the Pacers would be competitive, but now I see a full-on tank. They were competitive last night against Minnesota, but yeah, they're missing so many guys. You know who? God, San Antonio should trade Keldon Johnson, man. He doesn't even make that much money. He's not under contract long-term. Harrison Barnes is going to get shifted to more of a bench role when De'Aaron Fox comes back. Keldon is so expendable. It is a wealth of depth. That is a good way to put it. Are the Rockets for real? I'd need to know if we're for real. Ask JP. Yeah, you're going to look good tonight. I missed the Aaron Baines Memorial Graveyard. Those were real posters. When someone in the chat once ran that site, Aaron Baines Graveyard or something, NBAgraveyard.com, whatever that site was, and we had footage of all the great posters, real posters, when posters were posters. We get Cam Thomas tonight too. Shout out to my boy, one of my favorite players to watch. The difficulty of that step back in the corner yesterday against the Spurs during the comeback. Oh my God. All this guy does is launch shots. NBA needs a microwave bucket getter like him. Boy, do they have it. Okay, this just isn't working, I guess. Oh, I was getting yelled at by Nets fans, by the way, because I said you can put out a tweet. The tweet reads, Cam Thomas, 40 points, 0 assists last night with a happy emoji. And people take that as you're insulting him for being selfish when it was a simple statement of fact. And I love Cam Thomas. This is what creating content in 2025 with these people on this website is like. Offer concerns for New York Knicks under Mike Brown so far? I mean, it's 3 games. I like the rotations. We need Mitchell Robinson back. We haven't even shot well, and we're 2-1. Brunson just had his first good quarter. He had 12 points in the third. Halfway through the third, OG looked great defensively. Mikhail's moving freely. We'll be just fine. The Knicks are the best team in the East. I have no concerns until an injury, suspension, or arrest. The East, this is as bad of an Eastern Conference, man. The Hawks are not good. Like, they were supposed to be that team that was the dark horse. I'll give you right now how the East is Knicks 1, and I'm on the verge of putting the Pistons at number 2. I understand the Cavs are there. The Pistons are fucking good. They are terrifying, and they play so mean. They play in like a scorned X, and they had that first round series against the Knicks stolen from them last year. The Pistons are mean. They're big. Cade and Jalen Duren are going to lead the league in alley-oops. Duren gets every rebound. Beef Stew's shooting threes now. They got Ron Holland. They don't even have Jaden Ivey back yet. They got depth. They got vets. They were able to get that Malik Beasley money to Duncan Robinson. They're mean. They are a mean team. They are I go Knicks 1, Pistons 2, Cavs 3, and then it's like everybody else. You get the Sixers, the Magic, fine. They just can't score enough. Hawks. Who else am I missing? Heat. Raptors. Celtics tanking. Nets. Wizards. Hornets. Bucks. Just Giannis and company. Meh. It's the Pistons, the Cavs, and the Knicks. And the Pistons, I've got higher than most. What are my thoughts on the Blazers' aggressive defense? I could watch Toumani Camara play defense all day. And now he can shoot too. Lefties always have a pretty looking shot. He does not. Michael Redd is the last lefty to have an ugly looking jumper. Toumani Camara has an ugly looking jumper for a left-handy. They always have the smoothest Brandon Jennings-esque form. It's just so pure. His is not. His is like spot up, shot put, launch. Even Chris Murray has decent form. I don't understand Keldon's cultural fit. Oh, that's true. Yeah. He's been there for a minute. Good vibes guy. He's expendable if you're trying to win a championship, though. It's true. In the NBA, you have to worry about injuries. These are all the things that can influence a game. Injuries, foul trouble, ejection, suspension, and now arrest. Is there an earthquake right now, or is that a helicopter? Hold on. May have just had a minor earthquake. Anyway. I'm high on the Pistons. You can laugh at me now, but I am high on the Pistons. That team is nasty. They play. That is not the team on. They're looking for a fight every night. Cole Anthony's always hooping. He's been hooping. He was hooping on Carolina, and they had one of the worst Carolina seasons. Wasn't that the COVID year, though? So that season technically didn't count. You guys can name individual. I understand the Cavs are good on paper. Cavs probably finish with the top overall seed in the East. You don't have to explain to me their depth. Evan Mobley is very good. Donovan Mitchell is an all-star, superstar. There's just something about the Pistons, man. I know it when I see it. That team will be a problem. I'm not going to say they're going to win the East. You need to put them in that top tier. Jaylen Brown is officially a go for the Boston Celtics tonight. Jaylen Brown in the starting lineup for the 2-point favorite. That line is going to kick up a little bit. Let me get ProfitX back on the screen here. Let's see. It was at 2 before the Zion news and the Jaylen Brown news. Where are we at now? Let's see. Celtics 4-point favorites. Celtics up to 4-point favorites on the road on the second leg of a back-to-back. That is disrespectful. The Pelicans are not bad. You're talking to someone right now who not only has the 401k on the Pelicans season total over at 30, but also to make the playoffs at plus 1,000. This is disrespectful. If I could verify my location, I'm going to reload the site. How about that? Maybe that'll work. Maybe if I blow in the cartridge, it'll verify my location. Oh, it did. Sometimes you just have to refresh the page. That is disrespectful. I'm sorry. In the name of Antonio Daniels, I am betting New Orleans +4. And I might even be able to get 4.5 here. 4 is +103. This is embarrassing. I can't stand for this as a former New Orleans Hornets employee. I must defend their honor with a $10 bet on +4. Pelicans are good. They will not lose with Antonio Daniels sitting courtside. I refuse. What's happening, Jay? Appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Vegan Barbie in the chat. Been a minute, Vegan Barbie. How are you? You're still here, huh? All NBA Twitter cares about is Jaylen Brown and his hairspray that is rubbing. So first he got OG, and yesterday he got Ron Holland II. Every game, Jaylen Brown is spreading his. So is it like just for men? That's what it is, right? It's just hair coloring stuff. Why do people make fun of this so much? You know how many people use Just for Men? Millions. Why are we making fun of the guy? Because he's trying to complete a hairline or something? I don't understand. Maybe this is like a Gen Z thing. I don't see why it's such a big deal, but I just learned about 6'7" too. So if I got this right, 6'7" is like average. It's the new mid, right? Is that what it is? But it's so popular because adults don't know and kids just like saying it because adults have no clue what they're talking about. It's their rebellious way of creating culture. It's got to be 6'7's got to be. How is this the only trend to survive? I would say multiple months was Crying Jordan. Apparently 6'7" means basically nothing, right? Because Antonio's kid was on before the show. And then I was like, hey, AJ, what's going on? He's like, 6'7". He's 7 years old. And I was like, AJ, how old are you now? He's like, 6'7". And he just finds it so funny. Like, I don't understand. But if you like it, so be it. I think it's a kid thing. Yeah, it's just a kid thing. It'll die. It'll die within the next week. The short-term social media brains will move on to the next thing at some point. I would say Crying Jordan was the last monoculture meme. Yeah, and it's on like a rap song with some new age rap group or something. Barbie says, just feels like a novelty, like I've never heard of that happening in the NBA before. All right, fair. But I mean, people are treating this as if it's these tweets have like 1 billion views. Like, we caught him, we got him. Carlos Boozer all over again. Don't a lot of people do this? The whole point is just to get people to say 6'7". Yeah, I figured it was that stupid. 6'7" will last as long as my Pistons hype. Good one, WJR. Andrew says, what each and every generation finds funny is fascinating. I'm sure boomers didn't find the Frat Pack movies funny from the mid-2000s. Right, if you showed a boomer Anchorman, Wedding Crashers, Scary Movie, they probably thought that shit was stupid. Yeah, you're right. 40-Year-Old Virgin, Superbad, Step Brothers. Yeah, there were so many. You're right. That era was like Millennial City. Have I talked about the new heave Hail Mary rule? That's bigger than arrest me. Huge. Watch an NBA game. They're throwing full court heaves every quarter, every single quarter, 90 feet up in the air it goes. It is so funny how they're all willing to do it now. They know it doesn't count. Before it was, oh, I forgot. God, I forgot about the clock. I'm sorry. I'll get him next time. Every time they just something happened. He was in the vicinity. I couldn't get the shot up. There was an excuse every single time why people would not shoot that damn ball at the end of the quarter because they just did not want that missed field goal in their box score. And Mike Breen especially, who has been alongside me as someone who always calls these guys out for those moments in the field goal percentage savings club. The game in Miami yesterday, Mike Breen brought it up twice when it happened. And then during one of his national broadcasts, he was like, oh, the heave doesn't count as an individual stat anymore. You're going to be seeing this. He loves talking about it. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times on this show, but when we had Mike Breen on the Sirius XM show in the morning, we had him for 20 minutes. I'm like, Mike, before we get going, what do you know about the field goal percentage savings club? 12 minutes later, we're still on the same topic because it's all he wants to talk about. The Grizzlies even did field goal percentage savings in the play-in game last year where the stats don't count. It was contagious, man, for a long time. Oh, Van Gundy and Stan Van Gundy too. Why not? Remember that, Jeff Van Gundy? Why don't they shoot it? Why don't they shoot it? I don't get it. Is a missed field goal really? And he just went on and on all the way through the commercial, on and on and on and on. It was Nikola Jokic who led the league in heaves, right? And his 3-point percentage changed by 0.3%, I think. It was so stupid. These people treat their field goal percentage like it is their livelihoods. And the way that they would dribble around and always find a way to not get that shot up until the buzzer goes off. It was magical watching them do it. Like, you are such a scammer. I see what you're doing, and no one's going to call you out for it. It took years and years and years of peer pressuring them to get this rule changed. Now, my next venture is wearing white on the road. May take a couple of years because usually these uniforms are being created years in advance. For example, someone on my timeline asked me, because they were in attendance for when I was doing the Utah live show with Governor Ryan Smith and Danny Ainge. And before we went live, we invited about, 40 people to the facility, and they were sitting in there. And one of the first questions was about the uniforms in the branding, because at the time the Jazz had the highlighter yellow. Ugh, it was terrible. But before Ryan sat down with me, I didn't say it at the time because it was confidential information, but he was showing me the uniforms that will be debuted 2 years from now. And it's the ones they're wearing this season. So they were getting them made into the rotation, the production of them all. And I'm like, oh, thank God, the purple's coming back. And the Jazz now have, I consider to be one of the better home and away jerseys and throwbacks because they've gone back to the purple and blue mountains. But it takes years to get these decisions done because they have to start manufacturing all the jerseys and apparel, not just for the players, but for to sell in arenas and models and sports authorities across the nation and the world. You get it, right? So it's going to take multiple years for someone to make a decision and then start applying that towards the rules of teams wearing certain uniforms. You have to wear your association jerseys a certain amount of times, your icon jerseys, your retro jerseys, your city uniforms. Anyway, I will. That's my next mission, to get that done. White jerseys on the road will be eliminated from the NBA. You have my word. And the Chicago Bulls, by the way, do an amazing job of putting on their traditional whites and reds in their proper home and away setting. You see them as the jersey matchup of the day multiple times. Every opportunity, they're not required to wear their city uniforms. They put on the traditional whites and reds. They don't want to get away from their branding. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Chicago, thank you. What can I say about DeMar's reaction to Austin Reeves with 22? He was pissed off. He walked away from the interview last night. He just kept saying 46 free throws, 46. You gotta be kidding me. And then he just dropped the mic and walked out. Cade versus Spida tonight. I got the Pistons. That game tips in 3 minutes. As soon as that game tips, I will be signing off. MJ, laugh at olds who think it means anything, or when they say it and don't know what they are saying. Some streaming blew it up after the rap song. Oh, you're talking about 6'7"? Yeah. I would never actually, if I say 6'7", it's being facetious, sarcastic, or trying to get it killed. I would never actually try and blend into a conversation and say 6'7". Do the Bulls do their black alternate uniforms from the 90s? They used to. Yeah, they bring those out occasionally. They have some red pinstripes. I don't mind those because they wore them in the 90s. What two players have a special icon on their jerseys this year? Special icon. That I have no clue. I got no issues, Sam. I need at least 20, 25 games to. I like what we're seeing from Mike Brown so far. And honestly, this team is so good. I'm not going to feel a certain way about the Knicks until the playoffs get here. Like, there's no point in getting upset about a regular season game when you have a team that you know is going to be in the playoffs in a top seed. So you kind of just want to stay healthy and make sure that they stay in the chemistry and the flow of what they've built. Oh, the answer is Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. The NBA icon is in gold. I didn't know that. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. I had no clue that was a thing. Thanks for the update. I'll keep an eye out. So that means Evan Mobley and Shea have special jerseys, right? Oh, all the individual awards. So Steph Castle, Rookie of the Year, gets one. Does that mean Sixth Man of the Year and has one as well? Clutch Player of the Year? Just Rookie of the Year. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, no, I know. It's it's just the first game only? Man, I have no clue. This is the first I've learned about this, so y'all are educating me. Even Kamara as second team defense player got one. I love that guy, Toumani Kamara. I watch him play defense any day. What's up, LBJ? Not sure how much you're paying attention to the Suns, but Grayson Allen has been running some point guard for the Suns when Book is off the floor and has done a decent job. His 4.5 assists for Allen, a decent play tonight. You know more about this than I do. I've not been paying attention to that backcourt as much as I have in Dallas with D'Angelo Russell and Cooper Flagg. Get Cooper Flagg off the ball. Not that he can't do it, but you can just see what he can create. It's like Amen Thompson. I don't need him just dribbling the ball into the front court into a dribble handoff and then disappearing to the corners. He runs through and clears out. I want Cooper Flagg like receiving an entry pass or getting out into transition. I want Amen Thompson flying towards the rim, not setting guys up. It's a great conversation we had today about the traditional point guard becoming an endangered species. You can name them almost on one hand. Chris Paul, Mike Conley Jr., Tyus, Trey Jones. There's not many out there of those table setters and game managers left. The Rondos are retiring. I tried to include Dennis Schroeder in there, you know. Good to know. I'll keep an eye out for these gold patches. You learn something every day. I'm in the trenches of the NBA every waking second. I had no clue that was a thing. So thank you for keeping me in the loop. Nah. Best backcourt in the NBA, best defensive backcourts in Portland, but overall best backcourt in the NBA. Well, I was gonna say like Dallas has the best front court, and when Kyrie's back, you put Cooper Flag at the 2, you have the best backcourt. Like, how was Dallas in this position, man? Yeah, Halliburton was what Antonio proposed. Yeah, he's traditional point guard. But the Kings tried to ruin him into being like a spot up combo guard shooter. Ugh. Fucking Kings, man. How do you get that robe? Yes, season ticket holder package. This robe so comfy. So comfy. Embroidered. I wish it had my seating location on there, but it's fine. I'll take it. The bag's really cool too. You get one present every year for renewing. On that note, people, we have tip-off. Should we go watch some games? I think we shall. The good news is we're back on our usual schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Roughly, let's call it 3:50. Whenever I get done with tennis. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, between 3 and 3:15 p.m. Pacific time. Getting you ready for those bigger slates. Tonight we had an 11-game slate. We got a couple of bets in. I'm also, for those of you that don't know, I'm on a Porzingis under. I'm on Porzingis' unders. And I'm on Jordan Poole's overs from a prop standpoint, just based on injury news that we got. And also the Pelicans +4, which you see here on ProfitX above me, defending the honor of this ridiculous line of this Boston Celtics being on the second leg of a back-to-back. Ridiculous. Zion out with load management. No worldwide wob. Oh, I have also a cooler. I have a and the chalices. The Lakers have given me a lot. So I have an Igloo cooler, Lakers. I have a robe. I have a table, a beach table. I have a bag, and I also have the Chalice of Life, the Lakers Chalice of Life from Radio Roulette days. Whole set of chalices. The Lakers Chalice of Life. Good times. All right, people. Let's go watch some hoops. Oh, from thank you, kid. From ESPN, the patch will be worn only for their season debut, with 35 different players set to wear one. The uniform will then be auctioned off by Sotheby's. Oh, I would have liked them to have it the whole year. They earned that. They earned that. Why wouldn't they keep it on there? The same way you put the champs patch on there. I think you should be able to wear that until you're dethroned. Good idea, though. On that note, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll see you again on Wednesday, unless there's a place chase until then. Shout out to ProfitX for being our home for all of these options and your sports investment needs. And I will see you guys on the timeline. Deuces.